Takes over from the legend Bill Tierney. It's a seamless shift, and this is a Denver team with a proud program. Champs back in 2015. They have not competed in the NCAA tournament during the past 2 seasons.
Well, they lose Bill Tierney, but they return a lot of talent from the team that was the first team left out of last year's NCAA tournament. We saw what that can do. A chip on your shoulder all off season. You bring in that. Maybe you start the season with what would be a statement road win here in Baltimore against a Blue Jays team that really has a buzz back in the program for the first time in a long time. If they're going to get that road win, it would have to take a terrific effort for the faceoff man. Alex Stathakis will have to have a big day. 60% on the season a year ago, going against Logan Callahan in the home white. Now the 2024 college lacrosse season is underway. A beautiful day, new turf, and a terrific battle between 2 teams with increased expectations. It's Denver that starts with the opening possession. What's the key for the Pios today, Quinn?
Well, I think everything starts with possessions, and Stathakis and his wingers may give the Pioneers a 65 or 70% possession advantage. In the past, they've been a very patient offense. With new offensive coordinator Dave Metzbauer, I expect him to be maybe a little more up-tempo.
You lose Bill Tierney, but you replace him with a 7-time national champion, and Metzbauer is the offensive coordinator. Opening possession, first line midfield for the Pios. Jack Tortolani, Josh Carlson, and Stephen Avery. And they are shooting at Chase Erlin, the impact goalkeeper, transfer from Cornell, where he was a 4-year starter for the Big Red, and he gets beat there. Tortolani opens the scoring for the Pios on the road.
Tell you, that takes some of the tension off of the Pios bench. Nice ball movement, really patient. Hopkins applying a little perimeter pressure off the screen behind the net. They set the pick, and Hopkins' adjacent defender just sloughs in too much on this near wing. And Tortolani, the senior from Gilman, which is about a 3-mile jog up the road, the smartest player on this roster, scores right-handed.
What a homecoming it is for Tortolani to open the season. Logan Callahan wins it back for the Blue Jays.
Tortolani's dad, Justin, was a great player at Princeton in the early Bill Tierney era. Mom, Kim Simons, a former head coach at Georgetown University. Jay, if you were ambitious, you could have jogged by Gilman today. It's that close.
Well, how nice the weather is, I might post-game. Here's Brendan Grimes anchoring the first line midfield. You're going to see a lot of mixing and matching in the midfield, particularly in February for this Hopkins team. The attack is set, though. They return a 3-headed monster in Jacob Angeles, Russell Melendez, and Garrett Degnan. Great pass. Hopkins firing all cylinders. Jacob Angeles curling around the crease, tucks it away, an immediate answer.
This starts with a wing dodge from Casey McDermott, 33 in white. And as the eyes of the defense are focused on the ball handler, Angeles just sneaks to the backside. Hopkins' offense should be one of the top 5 in the country. I think this group is going to light it up this year. Watching their scrimmage last week against UMBC, I thought the talent level, the movement, the scheme, and the skill off the charts. This is going to be a fun group to watch.
2 minutes into the season, 2 goals, 2 possessions, 2 goals. Does having all that talent returning help continuity early in a season for these 2 teams?
Absolutely. I mean, you think about Hopkins is going to roll out about 12 offensive players, 11 of which played major minutes last season. Denver, I could have used my board from Denver games last year. There's like 0 turnover.
They return 100% of their goals. They've got Malcolm Kleben in goal for them today. The Pios, a Colorado kid who then moved to New York, and now he's back playing in his home state.
It's an area that is clear here, is an area that Denver put a lot of emphasis on in the offseason. Struggled a bit in their scrimmage against Navy to clear it.
Right on cue, a turnover. Quentin Kilrain, a freshman they're very excited about.
That was really Coach Matt Brown's takeaway from that scrimmage. Where they came down here to Annapolis and scrimmaged High Point and Navy. The takeaway was the clearing game. Okay, Denver typically really good half-court offense, really good half-court defense. They got to get better in the middle of the field.
It's Jonathan Peshko, Brendan Grimes, and Casey McDermott in the midfield right now for Hopkins. Here's Peshko. Had a lot on it, but off the mark. Melendez there to back it up for the Blue Jays. And this is the start of the 137th season of Johns Hopkins lacrosse. Of all those seasons, this is the earliest start date at February 3rd. Well, we got a beautiful day to start the college lacrosse season here in Baltimore. Here's Peshko, trying to muscle his way in. Now Jacob Angeles. Shot clock at 25. McDermott able to corral it. Not much time though. Ticks down to 15 seconds to shoot. Eight seconds on the timer. Angeles goes to work. Grimes got a good look, the lefty. Kleben makes the stop. But Denver gives it right back.
Wow, and there's going to be a penalty. So the Denver defender possessed the ball and then stepped in the crease. Okay, that's going to be a turnover. After that, I believe he rolls the ball to the end line instead of dropping it, and potentially this could be a delay of game call against the Pioneers. Let's see.
Foul zone red, 1-5, delay a game, 30 seconds. Shot clock is at 80.
Tell you, the little things make a big difference because you do such a great job defensively. Kleben comes up with a save. It's wonderful rebound control. You go for the right there, the right foot's in the crease. And now, suddenly you're man down.
Yep, Stuart Phillips comes on, and Hunter Chavette, the talented freshman, both on this extra man unit for Hopkins. Only player up for another 10 seconds. Very patient approach. And now back to even strength. This is Brooks English, his first action of the season. As the feeded in, Degnan couldn't quite find the angle there. Denver's playing a lot of defense right now. This is about a 3-minute possession that this defense is not broken down. Hunter Chavette, the freshman from Shaker Heights, Ohio, his first collegiate goal, and it's a beauty to beat Kleben.
The extra possession time off the little pick set up top and the two short sticks, Jake Edinger and Casey Wilson, just get a little miscommunication. That gives Chavette enough real estate up top to set his feet. He gets to the middle of the field with a goal as it's full 6x6, and it's always a special moment. They'll grab that ball, put it in the Hopkins training kit, and present it to Chavette in the locker room after the game.
One of two talented freshmen that Peter Milliman expects to make a difference in the midfield this year. Got the opportunity for the extra man. They didn't cash in those 30 seconds, but stayed on the field, and Chavette did not look like a freshman playing his first game when he reared back and fired that home. Angeles trying to shake free and gives it up. Melendez. And now Jimmy Ayers. He's the other freshman who Hopkins expects to make an impact this season. Angeles feeds it in tight. Make it 3 in a row for the Blue Jays. What a start. Russell Melendez off the feed from Angeles. And this Blue Jays offense, Quint, looks like they're in midseason form.
They're going to be one of the best in the nation, I think, without a doubt. A lot of wing action today. Hopkins isolating the Denver Shorties off the wing. The Pios send 2 defenders. Their backside slide is not great. Melendez just finds a soft spot in the zone. The Blue Jays, the rap last year was they didn't have guys who could run by you. And so far today, we've seen them create some matchups and win those matchups on the perimeter, which has opened up things inside.
And Johns Hopkins has now won 4 straight faceoffs. They've had the ball since the 14:02 mark. Denver scored the first goal of this game and hasn't touched it since until right now. His offense has had to wait a long time. Johns Hopkins has piled on 3 straight goals to grab early momentum here.
Hopkins being really aggressive off this restart as Denver subs pressing out, but a nice job done by Michael Lampert running away from pressure.
Lampert making the move from midfield to attack. He has been their go-to guy for the last part of last season, so we expect him to kind of start that way this year. Lampert has the backup here.
Lampert, 2 in crimson, and Stephen Avery, 50 in crimson. Probably the 2 best penetrators.
Feeds it up top. J.J. Silstrop, he's the leading returning goal scorer. Number 5 in crimson, shot it there.
Hopkins packing it into their zone when Denver inverts.
Pios with 20 seconds left to shoot. Great save by Chase Erlin, his first in a Blue Jay uniform. And a foul called after the shot. Move the shot clock back up to 60. It'll stay Denver possession. Good save from Erlin. And obviously recruited by Peter Milliman to Cornell, where he was a 4-year starter for the Big Red. Started in a national championship game, so he brings a big pedigree into Cage.
I think he's going to be most valuable in terms of his leadership and then that big game experience. He's played in 50 games. He played in a national championship game. So, like when Hopkins plays Penn State, Michigan, or Maryland in a big game later in the year, I don't think you're going to have to worry about Chase. I think he's going to be ready for those games.
And that's what the expectations are. Get back to champ weekend for the first time in a long time. Bouncer goes! Stephen Avery. Josh Carlson, rather, the senior, just stings it right past Erlin Lowe.
We've seen 2 examples of extended possessions. Hopkins benefiting from the Denver penalty, and here, off the restart, Blue Jays.
Now, it's a little weird to look down to the Pioneers sideline and not see the Hall of Famer Bill Tierney standing there. Brought lacrosse out west, had so much success after winning 6 national championships with Princeton. Obviously wins the one with Denver that really was such a statement throughout the college lacrosse world. Matt Brown was part of that success. He's been on staff with the Pioneers since 2007, started as a volunteer assistant. Before that was a great player for the Pios from 02 to 0-5, but this is his first year in the hot seat.
A great finisher inside, large and in charge for sure. I talked to Coach Tierney this week, who's working on his book. He's written about 100 pages, and he's only up to 1981. He was telling me this incredible story about when he played at Cortland, and they had a playoff win at Navy, and Bill Belichick was at the game. Belichick's dad was a football coach at Navy, and the two were discussing and writing that portion of his book. Coach Tierney will be broadcasting some games for us, the ESPN networks.
Which is such a great addition for our lacrosse family at ESPN to bring him over.
We worked some games with him last summer in the PLL, and he's got a presence about him. He's got so much knowledge and eyes, and his senses are about as good as anyone in the game.
His imprint will be felt here with this Pios team for a long time. Great save by Erlin, gets it out quickly. Put too much on it though. Ball still loose, a critical ground ball. Melendez finally scoops it up for the Blue Jays.
We're on pace for a lot of goals halfway through the first quarter. I think one of the questions, okay, how's the face-off situation going to shake down? Unforced errors. It's a February game, Jay, and things can get pretty dicey and raggy at times. And then who can find transition goals? Who can find some goals kind of out of the 6-on-6? I get a feeling that that's ultimately maybe the separator here.
And you thought Alex Stathakis would have the advantage at the faceoff X, but right now it's Johns Hopkins leading 4-2 in that category.
Come on now, Red.
Crossfield pass finds Dylan Bauer. Great passing, got a really good look there. Peshko, nice save by Kleben.
It's a hung situation. Point of emphasis, a moving pick by the Hopkins offense. So nice job by Denver there. I think when you're defending Johns Hopkins this season, the big question mark is going to be, what's your slide mentality? Are you slow to go and force them to beat you with unassisted goals? Or are you going to try to pack it in and slide and keep up with their movement and their ball movement?
A lot of pace on that.
That's nice offense. Denver looks really crisp and sharp in their half-field sets. You know, it starts with a near side wing dodge. They kick it through X, and they attack the weak side with a step down. It's solid fundamentally.
Lampert, a ton of speed off the restart. He brings the juice, the spark for this Pios offense. One thing Matt Brown commented yesterday is he feels like this year's team will attack a lot more from goal line extended and behind the cage, whereas last year they really liked to initiate from up top.
That's the impact of new coordinator Dave Metzbauer.
Line occur, easy save for Erlin. Shot clock was winding down, had no choice but to put it on net. And a great clear by the Blue Jays. Brett Martin returns a short stick defensive midfielder. He's been very steady in that role for Johns Hopkins throughout the years.
Good recovery by Denver off that shot. But now they've got some offensive personnel caught down on the defensive side of the field.
Here's Brooks English. Finds Degnan, who's actually been quiet in this opening quarter for his standards. He comes into the year with the longest active goal scoring streak with 30 straight games. English scoots in and scores! What a goal! Brooks English stepped on the gas and the sophomore strikes. Beautiful individual effort.
John Crawley, the offensive coordinator for Johns Hopkins, does a wonderful job here creating space for English. Look, you don't see a defender from Denver in the picture until English has gained inside leverage, and now the slide comes. So wonderful spacing, how they back out and draw the adjacent defenders further away from that man right there. Brooks English, sophomore now from Ontario. 11 points last season, but dealt with a hamstring injury. If he were a stock, I'm buying.
You might not be alone after that goal. The ball given to Denver. 3 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Off the restart, quick strike. A.J. Mercurio, the pole, getting in on the act. He can push it in transition and did so there.
The big man from Reno, Nevada. From face-off win to sniff this out at the top of the box, a pump and go down the alley. And that's exactly what head coach Matt Brown told us. He said, we're going to be more aggressive in the middle of the field, more aggressive on restarts and face-off wins. I love to see it.
And another face-off win for the Pios. They scored in 12 seconds off the last face-off win. That's a lot faster than they're used to going. Although Lampert decides to slow things down now.
Stathakis has won 3 face-offs in a row. His best skill may be his ability to adjust, to read his opponent, to come up with a plan B and C, to adjust and to innovate on the fly. He's one of the best in the country, the face-off man from Denver.
Tortolani with it. He's got a goal and an assist to his name. And now over to Carlson, who also has added a goal in this opening quarter. Lampert, he's showing off the speed. Erlin snuffs him on the doorstep.
Lampert got dumped. He's in major pain.
Still down as Martin clears.
Say there's a lot going on there.
Hopkins gives it away quickly. Lampert pops up.
Lampert got crushed after the shot. I thought it could have been a penalty against Johns Hopkins. We're gonna have a whistle right now. And it looks like Lampert, I want to take a second here to make sure Michael Lampert, the senior from Massachusetts, is okay. Look, he takes the shot and then pays the price. It was a great move. Hopkins defense was caught a half tick late right there. That's a good technique by the Hopkins slide there. You know, he did not get up in the head and neck area. It wasn't flagrant. He didn't follow through with a cross check. I thought he showed pretty good restraint.
And that's Jacob Stabner who came in to make the contact.
So easy to get carried away as a defender there and try to take that man's head off. And there's some discipline involved in that, in the way he slid, he double teamed.
You actually could teach that in a clinic on how to slide and help defense.
That was terrific to avoid the penalty in that scenario.
Lampert stays on the sideline while his teammates go to work trying to tie this game up. And Johns Hopkins closest to the line. Great hustle. Jackson Raposo laid out to win possession for the Blue Jays.
Terrific reaction from the Blue Jay bench as well. They got a roster of 60 guys who cheered on that hustle play. I think that was a signature of this Blue Jay team last year. One of the reasons why the program kind of turned the corner a year ago.
Risky pass, but it finds Melendez. 40 seconds left to this opening quarter. It's been a fun back and forth game. And with the shot clock off, Hopkins can just run this down.
up here.
59 in Crimson is one of the best in the game defensively.
Peshko stings the corner. Jonathan Peshko unleashes a flamethrower with 9 seconds left in the first quarter.
Van getting a workout here in the first quarter. Peshko from Degnan pushes right-handed. Not sure why Denver double teams Garrett Degnan, who's a strong left-handed tendency guy, who's known as a shooter, not a passer, but you send two to his eyeballs, you're going to pay the price. Peshko does a good job popping from the crease into space, and it's too easy for the Jays.
Hopkins has a lot of guys, plenty of quality depth that have cannons in the midfield. Peshko is one of them. And that brings our first quarter to a close. Johns Hopkins on pace for 20 goals in the opener. The offense looks excellent to start. Preseason expectations sky high for both of these teams. Hopkins in the top 5 to start the season, and they register 5 goals in the opening quarter. With Penn State and Maryland being really, really good, they were preseason picked to win the Big Ten.
It's a good team, and you're seeing it today. I think the big question here at Homewood is, can they go from being good to great? Okay, it's a 12-win season. You lose in the quarterfinals. Historically, here at Hopkins, we want more. You know, Hopkins wants to play in championship weekends. It's a school that's won 9 NCAA titles and 44 national titles dating back to 1883. I think the question marks will come in the middle of the field and on defense. But you're seeing so far that this offense is going to be electric, one of the top in the country. Fun to watch, creative goals, sharing the offensive burden with just a lot of different players who can light it up.
And Brooks English is one of them. He runs on here in the first line midfield to join Collison. We didn't see a ton of Matt Collison in the first quarter, but they expect a big season for the sophomore.
Jay's got 5 goals from 5 different guys. 4 of those goals are assisted, and I think you got almost like 9 guys got their name in the scorecard already.
A ton of weapons, couldn't quite tiptoe around the crease. Violation gives the ball to Denver.
So it's system-based offense. Again, positionless, not reliant on the work of 1 or 2 stars.
And Michael Lampert back on. He's behind the cage for Denver. He took a big hit at the end of the first quarter. Good to see him back for the Pios.
Hopkins pulls 50 in Crimson. That's Stephen Avery.
Avery has it here.
He's got a matchup here that he likes.
25 seconds to shoot. Here's Carlson curling around. He has a step. Can't quite use it. Staying alive, it fell to Silstrop, who beats Erlin just in perfect position.
Wow, this rip. You talk about wrists. The ability to turn a ground ball into a turn and rake and a eye blink. This is sensational by Silstrop. Watch this ball hit the ground here. He's on it, pushes towards the middle, and snaps it. Left-handed. That's his strong hand. He is crafty. Coach Brown told us he can shoot through the defense. That's what he did right there. He's a senior, actually a grad student from California. 100% healthy. Could have a big year, J.J. Silstrop.
Enjoys fly fishing, surfing, and beating goalkeepers all over the country.
Part of the California contingent on this Pios roster. It's a franchise that's done well in the 3 C's. Canada, Colorado, and California. But now they're spreading out. I mean, they got guys from so many states. It's really beautiful to see. A lot of Georgia. I'm seeing Tennessee, Iowa, the Midwest.
Lampert takes another big hit. He is not shy. He will initiate from anywhere and has so much speed to do it.
Paying the price. He's got to pick and choose. Risk reward.
Lineker, another sophomore they like. He's out of Ohio, another state that they've moved into in the recruiting world. Silstrop trying to create the angle there. It stays with the Pios. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. And now down to 10. Denver has to hurry. Silstrop fires and scores! Back-to-back goals for J.J. Silstrop. And that one ties it at 5.
Shot clock under 10. Time's not on your side. I thought earlier in this game, Denver took an ill-advised, easy shot late in the clock. But this time from 15 yards, Silstrop plants his feet, maybe threw some interference in front. Erlin doesn't track it. And Silstrop, who had 36 goals a year ago, scores back-to-back.
Yeah, he was the leading goal scorer in 2023. They were the first team left out of the NCAA tournament, wrong side of the bubble. And Matt Brown telling us that has motivated this group of returners. Remember, they returned 100% of their goals from that 2023 team. Silstrop had 36 of them, like you mentioned.
Go back last year. They beat North Carolina. They beat Ohio State. They beat Villanova in the Big East semifinals. And at that stage, you're kind of feeling pretty good. But things didn't break their way that final weekend.
Now, they felt like once they beat Villanova, they were in. But they lost to Georgetown in the Big East championship game, and they were the first team left out. A hard way to end such a historic career for Bill Tierney. And even though it's a new head coach, a lot of Pios back, and they used that as a chip on their shoulder, a motivator all offseason. And now they're here in Baltimore trying to make a statement against the preseason number 5 team in the nation. Kleben went low to save that, just kept it out.
Yeah, I'm not sure he tracked that perfectly. He had a general sense that it was down low, and he shuts the door on it, and then good rebound control and the clear. That, to me, that's big for Denver this year. Gotta have clean clearing. I like Stathakis facing off. I think they'll do well in the possession game, but non-face-off ground balls and clears, really important for the Pios this year.
Up top with Avery and Carlson.
Look comfortable offensively, don't they?
Good rhythm.
They just look comfortable.
A great ball movement. Here's Carlson, ducks in. Erlin makes the stop.
He, too, gets buried after the shot and is still down. So that's twice in this game. Hopkins. That was a good save by Erlin, because the shooter, Carlson, gave him the head and shoulder fake. He looked low and shot high, and Erlin wasn't buying it.
5 saves in his first half for Erlin, making his Hopkins debut after 4 seasons as the starter for Cornell. Here's Matt Collison, but very quiet, the sophomore from Ontario. Powerful frame, 6'4", 225. Great pass and an even better finish. It's the freshman, Hunter Chauvet. His second goal today, and that one fires the Blue Jays back in front.
Welcome to home. We'll watch him slip this pick at X. And Angeles throws kind of a spot feed, trusts him, throws it to space just in front. So you slip it, and you trust your teammate. Almost like kind of hitting the tight end, just right over the middle on a slant pattern. Throw it by the linebacker's ear. Know that he's got his back towards you, and that defender can't see that. It's an uncommon relationship already between veteran and freshman.
Angeles, we knew, was a great passer. 44 assists a year ago, has been a constant for this Hopkins attack. The surprise in his Hopkins debut, how about the freshman Hunter Chauvet, 2 goals already. Denver trying to answer right back. It's Blue Jays ball. Good clear by Ryan Evans. So much quality depth that Hopkins has at their disposal. If you're John Crawley, you keep looking at the bench saying, you can only run 3 of these guys in the midfield because he runs about 9 deep in that department.
That's what February is about, trying to build depth, maintain your depth. You know, 2 things, depth is good for 2 reasons. A, performance. It ensures that everybody's trying hard and no one gets satisfied. And then B, injuries.
Angeles, who just had the terrific pass on the last goal, operating again. Almost another assist. Peshko just missed the mark.
Again, positionless motion offense. You'll see when players give the ball up, they do 3 things. They cut the crease, they either go set a pick or set a screen for the ball carrier. Should be constant movement. They're trying to maintain their general shape.
Shot clock under 10. Hopkins has to hurry. Angeles tried to squeeze it in. Was it a crease violation or a shove? They say a shove, and it'll stay Blue Jays ball with a fresh shot clock.
Matt Brown trying to gauge what's the fitness level of my defense. Do I need to call a timeout and give them a little breather here, or can we reset, find our matchups, and be okay? And that was not a quick restart, so they got a little bit of a respite there. Hopkins now subbing some fresh legs on.
Collison's one of them, as well as Hunter Chauvet, the freshman from Shaker Heights, Ohio. 2 goals in his Hopkins debut. Angeles has the Pios hung up. They go out to meet him. And once again, this shot clock down to 15. Very patient on this possession. Can they cash in? 8 seconds to shoot. Timer down to 2. And that's a shot clock violation.
Oh, this is such an important clear and possession for Denver. That's going to be costly. I mean, mark that down. When you think about time of possession, wear and tear your defense has to take, the letdown now. Just look at the body language.
It's a Denver defense that has been on the field for 4 minutes. There's a flag down. Hopkins took the timeout, and a flag came out right as as both teams were clearing the field.
That turnover just stings massively.
Yes.
Because you did such a great job defensively. Denver's D's hanging in there.
There's Johns Hopkins offensive coordinator, John Crawley, former player here for the Blue Jays. And Quint, his offense has looked really good. First game of the season, really good rhythm, really good flow, and now moving to the extra man.
Like their spacing, I like their movement. I thought in the scrimmage last week against UMBC, that was my biggest takeaway, that this offense is going to be very, very, very good this year. Electric to watch, fun to watch.
And it's not just one or two guys.
No,
they have
not
quality depth.
Not reliant on one guy to like continually draw slides or one guy to continually shoot.
Back to even strength. Very patient, and it pays off. Guess who? The star freshman, Hunter Chavette, with a first half hat trick in his Hopkins debut.
A freshman from Ohio via Lawrenceville. Not known as a dodger, but let me tell you, left-handed, he can let it go. He finds space, and he's got the quick release. He uses the defender as a little bit of a screen. And then with that big shot and the velocity comes some deception. Low release to a high location. Goalie buys the low stick, drops down low, opens up the top portion of the goal. That's all she wrote.
How about this for your freshman debut? 3 shots, 3 goals. At Homewood Field in a top-ranked matchup, and Denver continues to kill themselves in the clear game.
That was their biggest takeaway in their scrimmage against Navy and High Point. It was an issue a bit last season. They're working so hard to try to stay in this game against this Hopkins offense, but they're just spoon-feeding them too many possessions.
The last time the Pios had a settled offensive possession, they scored on it 11 minutes and 36 seconds on the clock. So they've gone 7 minutes without a settled offensive possession. They've turned it over 3 times in that span, and they've allowed 2 Hopkins goals. Blue Jays starting to separate. Dagnon gives it up. Great passing.
Constant emphasis on passing in this program. You watch our pregame warm-ups.
Dagnon lets it rip! Garrett Dagnon extends the longest active goal-scoring streak in the country to 31 straight games with a goal.
Absolute heat, gas, flamethrower with the feet set. Was he a 6th-year senior? He graduated high school back in 2018 from DeMatha. He was kind of a late recruit for Hopkins. 2 times during his high school career, he got pretty sick. He got salmonella and mono during the summer camp circuit, but kept working on his shot. Kept working on his shot in the backyard with his dad, who played for Air Force and was a pilot. And man, he has had quite a career. Could have entered the professional world, Jay, but he chose to come back, and now he's been a 2-time captain.
I was just about to say that. It's not just his goal-scoring ability, it's his leadership for this Hopkins team.
You know, I got a lot of respect for last year's senior class. Guys like Timmy Marcille, Alex Mazzone was a transfer. He came in. We mentioned Jack Hawley and others who took this program from a place that they've really never been. It was a really rough 3-year period. And last year, they changed the trajectory of this program. Garrett was part of that. Those guys I mentioned earlier, Timmy Marcille, their goalie, and the leadership that class had to kind of turn. And Virginia, a lot of new faces for the Cavaliers.
When you look at that top 10, a lot of people are saying there's a top 3, draw a line under, and then everybody else. Do you subscribe to that?
Kind of. I think there's a top 1 in Duke, and I think the next tier would be teams like Notre Dame, potentially Virginia, and the rest on that list. I think Maryland's due for a great season as well. Again, February is kind of like where we assess what's under the hood, and typically we are too harsh in our judgments. You know, like improvement and growth are really important. And I've learned to be patient and forgiving.
When did you learn that?
I'm trying. I'm trying, man.
Oh, great swim dodge. What a goal! You might see that on SportsCenter Top 10. Cody Malosky, take a bow.
Coach Matt Brown of the Pioneers, when we discussed, he said he's got the it factor. He goes, Quinn, you know what the it factor is? Well, you're looking at, that's the it factor. You're basically getting your first shift of the game, swim dodge at goal line extended, and then dive into the heart and the teeth of that defense. That's the it factor.
The crafty Canadian. His dad, the coach of the Vancouver Warriors. It's a long battle. Look at this face-off battle between Callahan and Stathakis, and finally the Blue Jays come away with it. First face-off win for Johns Hopkins after Denver had won the last 5.
Yeah, but that's a little misguided. I love the work that Russ DeLin, our ace stat guy, does. But remember, many of those face-off wins turned into turnovers,
yes,
and didn't equate to possessions.
4 of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's, you know, sometimes Russ isn't as nuanced as he should be for a guy who's been around this game for 30 years. 30 years. He's the best in the business by far.
Yeah, he just told me this is his start of his 27th Johns Hopkins season. The best in the business. And he can take some friendly ribbing. Great save.
Good stop. Good stop.
Kleben needed that. Maybe Denver can build some momentum here in the final 2 minutes. Just got a big juice goal from Malosky.
It's a great point, Jay, because this next goal is big here. You know, take some momentum into the locker room.
They leave Malosky on the field after, again, that was his first touch of the game.
Malosky took a gray shirt type year, took a gap year where he didn't show up to campus till last January, so he practiced with the team all last year.
Here he is again, trying to spin his way in, get those hands free. Double team comes in. Oh, a triple team lays the lumber. Scott Smith. Big cause turnover there.
Not again. The defense is like, okay, 17, you want to cradle and try to dance your way through this defense? Not happening today.
And the Pioneers were offsides. Flag comes out. Freebie here for Hopkins right at the end of the half if they can cash in. It's the second offsides called against Denver today. Early season, still getting control of that box.
Flag denotes possession. And if Hopkins holds this, they could get possession to start the third quarter.
Is that what you would do?
With Stathakis, yes, I would.
Bauer going right at the cage and scores! Dylan Bauer on the run, and he fires the Blue Jays up by 3.
decisive. Be decisive. Look, here's the go by Stabner. It's followed up by a second slide. Really well done defensively, where at some stage you're saying, you know what, this guy thinks he's going to dodge to the rack without paying the price. Scott Smith and Stabner both there. And then at the other end, it was almost like Bauer lulled the Denver defense to sleep. They got a little disjointed and spread out, and then he takes it inside. And you're seeing genuine emotion here in the first weekend in February, and it is fantastic.
Lacrosse is back, and we have enjoyed such a treat in this first half. Two teams that have plenty of stars and delivered really an entertaining first half of lacrosse to start the season.
These are good teams. These are, I mean, you get a sense from watching 30 minutes. The Hopkins offense is going to be electric this year. And Denver already, you can just tell this team is going to compete for that Big East championship, and I'd be shocked.
And they've got the face-off man who can do it, Alex Stathakis. He didn't play to his best in that first half, still had the slight edge, 9-7, although misleading because a lot of those resulted in immediate turnovers. He can go on a run where they can play make it, take it in this third quarter. But credit Logan Callahan, who's made life difficult for him, although lost it there.
Yeah, good luck statting that one.
Mercurio got a clean shot off, but denied by Erlin.
Like, that's a great example of how face-off stats don't tell the real story. That gets statted as a Hopkins face-off win and then a turnover. The reality was that Denver got the shot. Regardless, Stathakis is something else, man. He's so powerful, so durable, a warrior. I think he'll get a shot to play in the PLL, in the Premier Lacrosse League. Remember, he took every draw last year. Every single draw.
That might be the most incredible stat of 2023 lacrosse, that he took every single one all season. And he's back for more in his final year of eligibility. Ultra competitor for this Denver team, trailing by 3 at the start of the second half. Hopkins has been super efficient on offense. Only took 18 shots and scored 9 of them.
By yourself, Case.
Shot clock down to 20. There's Casey McDermott trying to wiggle free. Degnan quickly to Angeles with now 8 seconds to shoot. And he scores! Jacob Angeles making it look easy. And Hopkins has their largest lead of the afternoon, up 10-6.
Lengthy possession, and just watch how Denver's defense gets just a bit too condensed. And Angelos is able to while not, he's on the perimeter, it's a tight perimeter, and he's able to run downhill along the hash marks, so to speak. And he's running towards the pipe. So he's got a decent angle. He's not too wide. And so his little snapshot is able to beat Cleveland.
2 goals, 2 assists today for the 5th-year senior Jacob Angeles. Denver a face-off win. They're going to have to stack a few of these in a row as this game starts to separate for really the first time. It was back and forth the entire first half. Hopkins finishes with a goal in the final 10 seconds. Then they score one with Angeles to go ahead by 4. What do you want to see more of offensively for the Pioneers?
I want to see more Lampert, who's number 2 in Crimson, and Avery, 50, initiate in space. And then swing it to the backside to guys like Silstrop.
Right into the chest of Erlin. I feel like Chase Erlin's grown into this game, got beat on a couple early. Now he's up to 8 saves in his Hopkins debut.
He's a proven commodity coming out of Cornell. Over 50 games played. He led the Big Red to a national championship game back in, 2022 against Maryland. So I think his bad days will be good, and his good days will be incredible. I do not worry about him at all handling the spotlight here. And from what I've heard, he's an amazing leader in practice. He's really come in and assimilated well and endeared himself to his teammates.
He knows the head coach very well. Peter Milliman recruited him to Cornell, played for him for a year and a half, earned the trust to get started by Milliman as a true freshman. And now they're reunited here in Baltimore. 20 seconds left on the shot clock.
And if Hopkins, last thing, if Hopkins protects him and plays great defense in front of him, there's no reason to think that he can't be a high All-American. He is that talented.
And maybe can be the difference in Hopkins getting back to a champ weekend, or dare I say, even winning a national championship.
Absolutely.
8 seconds left to shoot. Hopkins has to hurry here. Here's Collison trying to get the hands free. Goes one-handed, didn't quite work. And that's a violation.
If you just joined us, clearing was an issue for Denver in their scrimmages against Navy and High Point. It hasn't looked perfect today.
Yeah, just 6 of 10 in the clearing game.
Early season clearing can be a little bit of an issue. You know, I think the hard part there is for coaches, because it's so cold out. When you put clearing and riding into your practice, it's a lot of standing around.
Much needed goal for Denver. Ty Hussey, the senior, individual effort there to pull the Pios within 3.
This is similar to the Angeles goal. Again, it's a left to right split down the alley. Carson Brown is not in bad position, but he doesn't redirect the Dodger. So the Dodger takes his real estate. Browns needs to get into the body more and redirect and push the hips, push the shoulders towards the pylon in the corner of the end zone. Hussey does a wonderful job dictating his angle.
Stathakis and Callahan continue to battle at the faceoff X. Stathakis trying to chase it down. Still loose. Degnan finally comes up with it. That's a big ground ball. Halts any momentum Denver was trying to build here in the third quarter.
It's a possession game. It is all about the ball. It's like one point of emphasis. You need the ball in this game. So if you're a youth league player, high school player, college player, even if you're one of those senior super Zen master guys who are 80 years old playing in Vail, the ball is what matters. Get the ball.
And Hopkins has had more of it today, and as a result, a 3-goal lead.
Let's go, Bell!
Shot clock at 30. Great feed. Melendez teed it up.
It's good D. It's the one you want to give up. Hopkins positionless, motion offense.
Shot clock at 15, but Hopkins has been excellent in late shot clock situations. Falls to Melendez. Got a clean look there. 6 seconds on the timer.
Play the ball hard here. You know that he's coming at you. Do you dump this in the corner now if you're the Blue Jays?
I don't think you have to.
And ride? Nothing wrong with that.
That's what they decide to do.
Nothing wrong with that.
And remember, Denver has struggled in the clear. 4 turnovers in the clearing game today.
Clearing and riding. Clearing is obvious, but riding, You think about what Virginia did a couple of years ago. You think about the way the Kavanaughs ride at Notre Dame. You think about Yale's 10-man elevating that program to championship status. Riding's a big deal. It can be a separator between two great teams. The Blue Jays are going to have to elevate their riding game. It's good, but if you want to be great, there's an opportunity there.
Great hustle by Hopkins.
How many runouts have the Blue Jays won today?
3 memorable ones. Bo Zulik there, he part of this excellent close defense group. Scott Smith, Jacob Stabner coming in from Princeton. Maybe that's a group we haven't given enough love to today. The Hopkins defense, everyone talks offense, offense, offense. This is a good enough group to be one of the best in lacrosse this season.
From a poll standpoint, I agree with you, with Scott Smith, who's kind of the centerpiece of that. Started off as a poll, now playing close. Bo Zulik, captain, grad, and Stabner, who's the 4th man for Princeton last year, is now in this rotation at Hopkins. That group to me is solid as a rock, Jay. I think the ultimate question marks will be the shorties outside of Brett Martin.
It's been Hunter Juronsky as that second shorty so far today.
It's good defense on Melendez there as he tries to turn the corner. Is that Ryan Giles, 19?
Yes.
Nice closeout, good stick position. Didn't allow Melendez to get up and kind of turn the corner. He shut the door on him.
I feel like Denver's been pretty well organized defensively. Hopkins has just made better plays, including that one. Angeles, a hat trick to go along with 2 assists. Just a terrific.
This is the Big Ten with Michigan making their first NCAA tournament. Penn State making championship weekend for the 2nd time. The Terrapin dynasty that was just so dominant back in 2022. And the rise of the historic Blue Jay program.
Now we've seen how good Johns Hopkins has looked today. An 11-7 lead midway through the 3rd. A team with increased expectations, and so far they've lived up to them. Preseason pick to win the Big Ten. It's a big statement.
Based on what they return and based on what others return, it's fair. Again, can you go from good to great?
Plenty of space. Great save, Kleben, and Denver needed it.
Wow, that was a big stop.
Now you have to clear it, which the Pioneers have struggled to do today.
Pioneers have only tied together back-to-back goals once in this game.
It was at the start of the 2nd quarter, both goals scored by J.J. Silstrop, who hasn't taken a shot since.
Think about great defense. Like, there's some traits I always think of. Can we have a shutout quarter? Like, is your defense good enough to shut out the other team for a quarter? Can you prevent anything more than a 3-goal run? If the other team doesn't go on that big inning, you know, in baseball, you got a good shot to win.
Avery, he's got speed. We haven't really seen it today. He's been well contained by Brett Martin.
Oh, that's got to be something.
And it is.
It's the 3rd call inside today that has gone the way of Johns Hopkins. 3 times Denver players have been decleated in the slot, in the crease area. Matt Brown thinking that's a high hit. I thought it looked like it was from the rear. Player ends up falling on his face, his belly.
The shot clock resets. Bouncer over the cage. This is Atchison, not Lampert, who's off the field right now. Avery, bouncer. Erling got a piece of it. And another Hopkins defensive stop. They've taken Denver completely out of their rhythm. It doesn't help that Michael Lampert not on the field, who's probably their most explosive offensive weapon.
It's a good save, nice clear. Erling fought that one off. There's a new turf here at Homewood. It's shiny, scintillating turf as you see Hopkins Towson on Tuesday afternoon on ESPNU live right here with this new turf. But it's kind of soft, Jay. We were down there before the game. So Erling fights that one off. It took a bigger hop than I would anticipate, but he was really patient, showed his quick hands.
You like the big Blue Jay at midfield, the logo?
I favored the old Blue Jay, the cartoon Blue Jay, the Neil Grauer Blue Jay.
You're old school.
He's cute, man. he's got character. I see Seattle when I see that Blue Jay.
Oh, Degnan.
Does that Blue Jay not say Seattle?
I don't. No, it does not say Seattle to me.
It doesn't. You don't think Seattle Blue Jays when you see that?
No.
Or Toronto Blue Jays? Excuse me.
Okay. Oh, Toronto Blue Jays.
Toronto.
Yeah. It says, yes. Okay.
I got my northern cities confused. I see the Toronto Blue Jay logo.
Yes, I can see that, but it's got the Hopkins light blue. I like it. Hopkins has been money with the shot clock winding down. 5 ticks left. English gives it off. Good save, Kleben again. He's made 2 in this third quarter to keep Denver within striking distance.
And good back-to-back saves now by Malcolm.
Can they get something in transition? No. Great transition defense by Hopkins.
No counterattack here for the Blue Jays. But again, the clearing and do we push? Do we attack? Still a work in progress. Obviously, everything's going to be a work in progress in early February.
For February 3rd, though, I feel like Hopkins, pretty good rhythm offensively. They've certainly dominated the possession in this game, and they've cashed in on a fair amount of it.
I mean, just look at the passing and the spacing on these possessions. That in itself.
Grimes on the run, misfired it wide. Denver has had to play a lot of defense in the second and third quarter. Arguably one-way traffic at times.
It's been okay. Jack DiBenedetto's done a nice job down low, 31.
The flag flies, and we will get the call.
Matt Brown can't buy a call. See him 5 yards out onto the field right now, just asking like. But DiBenedetto's done a good job. I mentioned 31 because he's been the guy covering Melendez. It's not like Melendez has been running wild. Here's the call, cross-check that rides up. I agree with it. Is it a hold or a cross-check? It gives him a little business. I think once he realized that he was going to get the call, he was like, I might go for it and rough this guy's face up a little while I'm at it.
Hopkins, this is their 3rd extra man opportunity. They've yet to register a shot.
Lefty shooters here, most dangerous. Chauvet 34, Degnan 40, and White, far side of the screen.
Chauvet already 3 goals to his name, a freshman making his Hopkins debut. Degnan, great save. Malcolm Kleben starting to read it really well. 3rd save in a row to deny Degnan.
Scary, scary velocity with his feet set. He's got such a long wingspan and release. It reminds me a lot of the stealth bomber, Mike Springer, former Syracuse outside shooter.
Here's Dylan Bauer. Going to spin his way free. There's English wiggling in. Kleben, another great save. Malcolm Kleben is keeping Denver in this game. And a good clear. Can the Pioneers get something in transition, trying to do too much behind the back? And the Pios lose possession. It's been the same story in this third quarter. Get a great stop and give it right back.
That was terrific transition defense by Hopkins. They got into the hole, got in their triangle. It was a 4-on-3 break. Their splits were perfect. Sticks were up in the passing lanes, and they were patient. Made things difficult for the Denver. Really good transition defense. Great setup by the D.
Hopkins has scored a goal in the final 10 seconds of both the first and the second quarter. They're not going to do that here. 8 seconds left. Flag flies. So Denver will go on the extra man to begin the fourth quarter. Pioneers have scored just one goal in the last 18 minutes and 5 seconds. Hopkins has taken complete control of this game as we march to the fourth quarter. 7 lead over number 13. Denver started the fourth quarter. Quint Kesnick, Jay Alter with you. It's the Pioneers' ball. Extra man for 30 seconds to start the fourth. Boy, this would be a big momentum goal. Denver back against the wall, trailing by 4. They go inside, got a decent look, but not clean.
Nice collapse by Smith and Deans. 2 Hopkins defenders down low on the pipes.
Noah Manning right into the helmet of Brett Martin. Bouncer whizzes wide. It stays with the Pioneers, but now back to full strength. Malosky, double team comes in. Scott Smith all over it. Forces him to get rid of it. Last time Smith came over, he caused a turnover on Malosky.
Juronsky does a nice job, but Smith goes. That's okay.
Silstrop tried the quick stick to no avail.
Talked about on defense, being decisive, okay? Are we going to double or are we not? Or are we going to hold? It's the halfway stuff that usually gets you burnt.
Malowski goes up top. Erlin there to meet it.
That's a little magic by Erlin. Did he catch that off the left hand like the blocker save? He's gotten better and better as this game has gone along, hasn't he?
Yes.
Chase Erlin now holding Denver to like 1 goal over the last 20 minutes.
That's exactly what it is. 1 goal in the last 20 minutes. 10 saves. You know, Hopkins is clamped down after 15 goals in the first half between these two teams, only 3 in the third quarter.
Erlin, Victor, New York. It's a Rochester suburb. His brother TD, one of the best face-off men on the planet.
Hopkins in control here, leading by 4 in the fourth, trying to put away Denver to start this 2024 season. Shot clock down to 20. Pioneers desperate for a stop. Malcolm Kleben, the goalie's gotten hot. 5 saves in that third quarter. Shot clock under 10. Stolen away.
That's a rare, unforced error by the Blue Jay offense. Honestly, like, how many times have they thrown lousy passes today?
Not many. They've looked crisp. Off the pipe. Mercurio scored today. Gave that one a ride, inches away from a goal.
That looked like a trailer break in the PLL when Michael Earhart of the Maryland Whipsnakes is trailing the play and settles behind it with that long pole, sets his feet and whoosh.
I think Mercurio's a guy you'll see drafted.
Absolutely.
Denver has missed their last 8 shots, getting opportunities, just can't finish. Fed inside, Erlin again! Chase Erland, an 11th save.
As pretty a passing play as we've seen from Denver. Just staccato ball movement, one cradle and a pass. They had Hopkins on the carousel and everything but the shot for Noah Manning. Expect Hopkins now with kind of sensing that they're all of a sudden playing more defense, maybe to operate a little slower on offense.
McDermott couldn't get it to Melendez. Unforced error. That's 2 in a row after they've been very clean through 3 quarters.
Those are the turnovers. And that's typical, Jay. That's typical of February. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to be perfect. I think from the player standpoint, focus on effort, like game speed effort. Focus on trying to execute the simple plays, the vanilla plays, and what your coaches are emphasizing. Like, this is not the time of year to go rogue and start creating stuff.
Here's Stephen Avery.
Leave that to Russ.
Denver still playing without Michael Lampert, who's been their go-to initiator. Since he's come off the field, they have struggled to get anything going.
Tortolani with the backup. He had a nice first quarter if you're just joining us. The senior from nearby Gilman, a goal and an assist early. Kind of a heart and soul guy, leader, really smart. Knows how to play team offense.
They could use him to be a spark here. 10 seconds left to shoot. Silstrop went lefty. And Hopkins again wins the dive. Erland was closest to it. Denver in the second half, Quint, shooting 1 of 14. That won't get it done on the road against a top 5 team. Scott Smith spins through the hit.
Hopkins is offsides. Now, if you're Denver, you want to get this ball upfield right away. Capitalize on the restart.
Didn't do it quick enough. Hopkins can get settled. Denver has only scored 1 goal since halftime. They need to find 4 in the final 9 minutes here.
Martin, the shorty, 12 in white. Strong game today. Juranski, 77 in white. He too.
Silstrop just can't get free.
Neither have been liabilities. Smith, 18. He's an All-American. He's a star. The new face, Stabner, now on the ball, 28 with the black cleats and black stick head. Solid as a rock. Not flashy, Jay, but kind of does his job, and we haven't really noticed him. And generally, that's a good thing.
Very good thing for a defender, and when we did notice him, he made one of the great clean slide hits to really take Lampert out of this game.
Nice round, back it up.
Second half, Blue Jays coverage of the interior has been good. And so now Denver's just kind of flailing outside shots, and that's led to Chase Erland, their goalie, getting hot.
Shot clock at 10. And here comes the flag. Noah Manning tripped as the shot clock was down to 5. This will be a big opportunity for Denver.
Juranski's pressing out, adjacent.
White, 7-7.
Offensive player.
1 minute.
Pulls the string and cuts back door, and he kind of dives after him. You see right middle of your screen, Juranski's caught on the outside, so he loses the proper leverage.
Is this now or never time for Denver? Extra man for a minute, down 4?
It is. You know, at the pro level, the 2-point shot here makes the four-goal margin look differently.
On the extra man today, Denver 0 for 1 with 3 shot attempts. They'll have 50 seconds here.
Yeah, they start circle, and they just waste 8 seconds, and now they're in their set.
Trying to squeeze it in, stinging the corner. Cody Malosky, his second goal of the afternoon, cashes in on the extra man. Boy, did Denver need that.
That was pretty sweet. Coach Brown draws that one up. Double cut out of a circle. You see 2 guys fill the crease. 1, 2, and it's a little loop around. A screen set inside. Defensively, you got to pass that cutter on. He's the most dangerous player. So a good set play, good coaching, excellent execution.
Malosky places it perfectly to beat Erlin, who's really heated up in this second half. It's going to take a lot to beat him. Got the placement just right. 8 minutes to go. 3-goal game. Stathakis, a big face-off win for Denver. The Pioneers have only had back-to-back goals once today.
Denver's shown some toughness today, haven't they?
Played a lot of defense.
Played a lot of D. Things haven't gone their way really in the second half, and here they are. Here they are, an inch away. They're scrapping and clawing and fighting. Love what I'm seeing from them.
Risky pass, battle for the ball. Avery trying to chase it down, keep it in play. He's shoved out of bounds. And they give the ball to Hopkins. Big hits, the freshman works through it. What a play that is, Quentin Kilrain to keep possession and the poise for Hopkins. Through bodies. Big reaction from the Blue Jays bench too.
He's a player, let me tell you right now. 6 in white's gonna be a star. Today's just the first day. You get a look at his handling traffic, man. That was a special play. You get your whole roster jumping on you.
How hard is that to maintain possession when you got 2 guys sandwiching you like?
Well, it's hard because you got the 6-foot pole that's, you can't hide it. And so it's very much exposed. It's a good look at Kilrain, 6-foot freshman, Lawrenceville. He can play some pole, he can play close, great skills and awareness. And, you know, it took, I don't know, one play in the UMBC scrimmage, and I said, oh, that guy's ready to play. Because he can play fast. He can play at college speed. There's a difference between summer club and high school ball with college, and he's got the ability to play fast right away.
Hopkins trying to close this game. They've led for most of it. 3-goal advantage under 7 minutes left. Deflected ball. Chased down by the freshman Hunter Chavette. A hat trick in his Hopkins debut. Last Blue Jay to do it. Shackelford Stanwyck back in 2015. Shot clock down to 20. Angeles, quick feet, sends it up top. Melendez getting chased, gives it up for McDermott. Chavette, that's off the mark with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Do you dump and set up the defense here?
Either that or relentlessly push and try to draw a foul.
Bauer decides to dump it. So 6 minutes left, Denver trailing by 3.
Denver short stick have to make more of an impact on their clear. It's a nice pass by Mercurio.
Back to Mercurio, big shot. That's a weapon for Denver. Silstrop has the backup. 5:42 remaining. The clock not a friend of Denver right now. They have to find 3 goals here down the stretch. They've only scored 2 in the entire second half combined. Avery puts on the brakes, goes back lefty, shoots, scores! Stephen Avery, the senior, draws Denver back within 2.
He can really run. You look at his totals from last year. I mean, he had some monster games last year, Ohio State, where you see his ability to shoot on the run is a little different. It's a different skill set than the rest of this roster. That's kind of a crafty, skillful group. An old school right-to-right move where he gets to the middle and just runs through the stick, stops, spins to his weak hand, and takes a jump shot through traffic. So being two-handed, senior from Nashville, a monumental, huge goal in this game to keep this thing within striking range.
Matt Brown making his debut as head coach, taking over for Bill Tierney. Has his team within striking distance, down 2 with 5:15 to play. Ground ball won by Scott Smith, a big one for Johns Hopkins. Pioneers way more aggressive right now, really pressing out, bringing that pressure. Under 5 minutes remaining. What a start to the 2024 college lacrosse season. 2 great teams delivering a terrific game. Denver is out shooting Hopkins 13-1 in this 4th quarter. Have the Blue Jays gone too conservative offensively in the 4th?
Remember those sloppy turnovers. 2 bad passes really changed the tenor of this game, and now Hopkins is kind of on the ropes. Be aggressive in these moments of stress if you're this offense. Keep attacking.
20 seconds left to shoot. Shot on the run, and it goes. Jonathan Peshko.
He's been reliable, he's been dependable. That's a big goal for both Peshko and his team. In shot clock era lacrosse nowadays, one thing we've learned, you don't stall your way to wins. You've got to keep attacking within the frame of the shot clock late in games. You don't protect your leads, you extend them. And Peshko, who I believe had 16 goals last year, 16 goals in 2022. Man, that's one of the biggest of his career.
Angelis had the assist. That's 3 goals, 3 assists for him, teeing up Peshko. Hopkins' first goal in 18 minutes, and it gives them a much-needed 3-goal cushion under 4 minutes to play. Denver with the ball. You got to go quick here if you're the Pios, right? Hopkins has been difficult to break down defensively. There's 2 flags down. Silstrop, one-handed between the legs. J.J. Silstrop goes 5-hole on Chase Erlin. What a goal by Denver's leading scorer from a year ago.
This is just nasty. Magic. Goal is good. And it's going to be a high hit. Full time.
You want to see this goal again.
Defense is a little disjointed. I mean, that's about as well as you can cover. How does he make this shot? Because Bo Zulik, 44, is in really good cross-handed hold position, driving him away from the goal. He's under his arm, almost if he's got him on the pitchfork, and he's going to throw him out of this saloon. But Silstrop says, nah, not today, and one-handed.
Hopkins, Silstrop, a hat trick today. We've seen a lot of beautiful goals to start the 2024 lacrosse season. That might be the best of the bunch right there.
Talent level across the board now is just, it's awesome. It's fun to watch. You never know what you're going to see on one of our televised game on E+, ESPNU, ACC Network. Plus, this kind of that kind of playmaking just fits with Twitter and Instagram and TikTok.
You're on TikTok?
My daughter is. So So I need to make it my business too. So here's the deal. Hopkins in their huddle. We got a face-off. It's a man-up face-off by Denver. Okay, that was not a dead ball foul. So the game continues now with a man-up face-off.
On Tuesday, Hopkins will welcome Towson here to Homewood. You can watch it 4 Eastern time on ESPNU. But before we worry about Towson, Hopkins trying to cling to this 2-goal lead, 3:29 to go.
Yeah, this is kind of a specialty situation that you rep in practice. It's a man-down face-off for the Blue Jays. They'll go with Patrick Deans on a wing. They've got their man-down personnel. Brett Martin is actually on attack right now for Hopkins, and he'll flip-flop with the Fogo if they lose this draw. I think Denver wants to get the ball and either call timeout right away or sub quickly their extra man personnel.
Stathakis, so reliable at the face-off X, wins a big one for Denver.
That's money, huh?
Brown takes the timeout.
That was money by Stathakis, who understands he's got the solo winger. Again, it's a man-up face-off. He's got the lone winger behind him, and he wins the clamp and simultaneously pivots and exits that ball to perfection. That's beauty. Beautiful job by Alex Stathakis.
Take another look.
Watch, clamp one. And then he circles it and yanks that right out to Casey Wilson.
Quinn, there was a point in this game, third quarter, early fourth quarter, where Hopkins had all the momentum. They're piling on the pressure. Denver was bending, but they didn't break. The defense and Malcolm Cleveland stood tall, and that then allowed the offense to catch fire here later in the fourth to get back in it.
Look, 3-goal lead, 8-5, 4-goal lead, 11-7. Denver's offense was kind of shut down. They only had 1 goal in about 18 minutes. But at the other end, the D dug in. Goaltending, just staying tough. And I agree with you, Jay. That's a winning quality. Even though we're not playing well, we're not letting the other team put us away. So they stayed in the hunt. They stayed in the hunt.
And now within striking distance, down 2, 52 seconds on the player-up advantage. 3:20 remaining. Hopkins just trying to get out of here with a win.
Same set, that empty formation. They'll cut 2. They scored on this earlier.
Feed in tight, broken up, critical ground ball. Brett Martin trying to get there. It falls to Denver. Foot on the line, Hopkins ball.
That play was all Martin. All Brett Martin, 12 and white. Denver runs the same play, and they keep the ball moving. Then there's a recut. He shut it down. Not only did he do that, but he cleaned up the garbage, the trash in the corner.
Hopkins needs to clear it. Tough to do when you're down a man. 2:40 remaining and 10 seconds left on the player up. Good clear.
Huge clear. Huge clear.
And now Hopkins will hold full strength. Back to even. 2:20 remaining. Denver, a big missed opportunity, unable to convert on the extra man. And now Hopkins just needs to kill 2 more minutes to escape with a win.
Get the ball behind the goal late in these games.
McDermott trying to muscle his way through traffic. Another ground ball, won by Denver. Pioneers have it. 1:40 remaining.
Nice passing by Denver.
Great cut. Erlin the save. Biggest of the day for Chase Erlin in his Hopkins debut. Ball stays with Denver.
Brilliant, brilliant, Jay. Brilliant by the Pioneers in transition. That was beautiful.
Unlucky not to finish that. Erlin with his 12th save. 1:20 left.
Come on, Red. Come on, Red. Gotta go.
And now down to a minute remaining in regulation. Denver running out of time. Spending a lot of time on this possession. Here's Noah Manning.
Here you go. Need one here. Go.
This is excellent defense by Johns Hopkins. Denver trying to find the breakthrough. Goes to the lefty. What a goal! J.J. Silstrop makes it a 1-goal game with 44 seconds remaining, his 4th of the day. That one by far the biggest.
Execution under pressure. Guys keeping their cool. Just jabbing away at the defense. Circular passing, and finally a crevice emerges on the far side. Hopkins, for whatever reason, gets a little too condensed, a little packed tight, and Silstrop from mid-range.
And now back to the face-off X. Logan Callahan and Alex Stathakis, who have battled all afternoon. This one the biggest by far. And Hopkins has it. But they almost give it away there. Push. Blue Jays ball. 33 seconds left. Just have to kill the clock and hang on to this 1-goal lead.
10-man ride for Denver. They pull the goalie.
That ball over the head of Scott Smith. He somehow bats it in play, but it falls to Denver. 20 seconds for the Pioneers. They elect not to take a timeout. And now they do. Matt Brown waited until 12 seconds remaining on the clock. Thought he might have taken one with a little more time. What an opportunity for Denver. They were at points in this game left for dead, but battled, and now a chance to tie it.
Crossfield pass that goes awry, kept in bounds. Denver does a good job of getting this ball off the carpet. Well, what do you got now if you're Dave Metzbauer? There you see him with the dark hat on. Owner of 7 NCAA championship rings, now the coordinator here for the Pioneers. Man, they've scrapped. I don't know how, the way this is going to turn out, but I give them a lot of credit, and that bodes well for their season in the Big East. There's no time to dilly-dally here, Jay. There's Coach Brown. His first game taken over from legend Bill Tierney, who I'm sure right now is on the edge of his seat back in Colorado.
No doubt about it.
You know, Michael Lampert has not been a factor in this game since the first quarter. I don't know what his injury status was. He and Stephen Avery are the best passers. But ultimately, you'd like to see some action here that gets the ball to your best two finishers. And to me, it's J.J. Silstrop from mid-range. Cody Malowski, 17 in Crimson, has made some magic on the inside. Those are the two guys I'd like to see the ball jammed to. You don't have time for more than one circular rotation here. You got to get right to it.
Malowski starts with it. 10 seconds. Here's Ty Hussey. Hopkins trying to hang on to a season-opening win. There's a flag out with 2.6. Hussey took a big hit there.
White, illegal body check to the head, 2 minutes, full time.
Scott Smith, check to the head. So 2.6 seconds here for Denver.
Feed the crease. If you're the defense, take arms.
So even though Denver's player up for 2 minutes, that doesn't matter.
Screen the goalie on this. You can either feed the crease right away or throw it up top for an outside shot, but screen the goalie here. Shoot it low at your teammate's feet.
A Herculean effort just to get to this opportunity. Do the Pioneers have one
pass
more
up
magic
top.
trick?
Jay, one pass to the top of the box for an outside shot, but screen the goalie.
Here it is to tie it at 12. It goes in! J.J. Silstrop, as time expires, ties it at 12. Welcome back. We missed you, Lacrosse.
Diagrammed really well. From 18, with the screen, you see the player jumping up in the air, and what he does is he brings another defender there. And if you can't see it as a goalie, you can't save it. It looked like Chase Erlin had a beat on it. Here it is. This view will tell you, sometimes your own teammate gets in your way. That's just a well-placed shot. Stick side bouncers will go.
J.J. Silstrop scored 3 goals in the final 3 minutes and 29 seconds to fire Denver into overtime.
All Silstrop.
All overtime.
It was considered direct contact to the head. There's indirect, direct, and flagrant. So as a 2-minute non-releasable, that's going to carry over another minute and 58 seconds. Is that accurate?
Yes, a minute 58.
So this is going to be another man-up face-off for Alex Stathakis and Denver. And we saw how he handled it so efficiently last time. Here's the penalty towards the end of regulation. Helmet to helmet or shoulder above the shoulders to the head or neck area. There's 3 classifications: direct, indirect, or flagrant. And that was a 2-minute non-releasable.
Yeah, so on the wings, Denver has 2. Hopkins only has 1, Patrick Deans. So it's a huge advantage for Stathakis. Casey Wilson comes over, trying to pry the ground ball, and he missed it. Big break for Hopkins.
Now playing a little keep away here. Denver's going to try to press out. They got the extra man. That was a really nice face-off work by Logan Callahan. He basically dive bombed on the ball just to try to make it a 50-50. You know, muck it up for as long as he could. How do you approach this if you're Denver? You have the extra man now. Do you double aggressively? Be careful. Don't get crazy here.
Denver, if they play solid defense, 40 seconds left on the shot clock. They would still have time on the player up, about 25 seconds left.
With that in mind, be conservative here defensively. Time is on your side.
30 seconds left that Hopkins can hold it. Do you dare go to goal down a man? Why not? Brooks English has the speed to do it. Curling around the cage, spinning his way in, tiptoeing around the crease. One-handed, he almost won it.
And the reset. They give him the reset. And Coach Browncat, why the reset? Did it hit the goaltender? Did it hit the pipe? It must have.
They're saying it hit the pipe. Shot clock has been reset
to 60. It did not hit the pipe. It hit the base of the goal. There should not be a reset there.
Matt Brown is on the field, making his debut as Denver head coach. No reset. 10 seconds, not 60. That's a great call by the officials to get that right.
To get it right, yeah. To get it right. I give them a credit. They came together, talked it over, and get it right.
Next goal wins it. Denver has it, and a player up for 30 more seconds. Do you be aggressive here? Attack.
You got to get your personnel on. Coach is going to call timeout to salvage as much of the power play as he can. Well, specialty situations. Big part of winning and losing quality games. Man up, man down.
Can't say enough good things about Denver. That they stuck in this game when they could have separated. This could have been the game winner from English. I don't think it hit anything.
Jacob Angelus, as if, how did we get here? A couple turnovers early in the fourth quarter, I thought, offensively. They had been so clean and efficient with the ball. Open the door, and again, they didn't put Denver away. This team's showing great grit and resiliency for their new head coach. They got a lot to look forward to out in the Mile High City. It's a good team. And I think Hopkins showed moments today where they could be really efficient on offense, tough on D. Again, I mean, I may be crazy, but these we're looking at 2 playoff teams this year. These are good teams.
This game was stuck at 11-7 until 8 minutes left of the fourth quarter. Then Denver sprung to life, scored as the clock expired. J.J. Silstrop with 5 goals today. You have to keep an eye on number 5 in crimson and gold. 20 seconds left on the player up. Denver out of the coach-called timeout. Malowski squeezes it in, missed it wide. Battle for the ball. Won by Denver. Only a player up for another 7 seconds here. A little more than 2 minutes left in the first overtime. Back to even strength. Denver wins it! J.J. Silstrop! A golden goal and a statement road win to start the season. What a start to the Matt Brown era. As good a win as you can get to start the season.
Look at these guys. Look at these guys and their new young coach. Look at the love. Look at the love.
J.J. Silstrop scored the final 4 goals for Denver, 6 for him today. and they have shocked Johns Hopkins here at Homewood.
Down 4 in the second half. And it's just a stunning, stunning home opening loss by the Blue Jays. Time had expired on the penalty, but Hopkins really wasn't set in their normal defensive responsibilities. So that ball movement causes a rotation. And man, Silstrop couldn't miss late in this game. There's nothing to work with there, let me tell you. But the deception of low to high just pulled